Today's episode is in partnership with California Love K-pop Dreaming. How did K-pop transcend continents to become a global sensation it is today? Host Vivian Yoon shares the history of how the genre came to dominate the charts and explore her own story of what it means to be a Korean American today. Listen to California Love K-pop Dreaming from LES Studios wherever you listen to podcasts.
Thank you, Sammy, and welcome back to Idol Talk Pod, where we explore South Korean pop culture one obsession at a time. My name is Nathan, and I'm your host.
Hey everyone, I'm Ashley, and I just want to say that I'm very excited to talk about this much anticipated release. If you're watching our video on Spotify or YouTube, I'm wearing the Hello Kitty Jung Kook, Hello Kitty BT21 collab t-shirt, where Hello Kitty is literally wearing like a what is the name of this character? A cookie mask. Iconic. It's fucking iconic.
Okay, I love that. Okay, and we also have our only member subunit nowadays. Sammy, did you want to say hi to the audience here?
Of course, we hard repping here, you know, and I just want to say that this may cause drama between me and my sister, but I just want to say that I think Jungkook is coming up on my list.
Oh, she changed her background.
She changed her background.
I just want to say that after this release, I think that he might be moving up. Because B's not doing anything for me right now.
Yeah, he's wifed up.
Oh, Lord.
Don't want to hear that. Don't want to hear that.
Okay, all right. So, if the listeners didn't already know from those intros, we are talking today about Jungkook's new release, his solo debut, and Ashley is going to overview this for us.
Yes, so Jungkook...
Non-explicit version and explicit version. Go ahead.
Yes. He came out with his solo release titled Seven on July 14th. Seven is described as an invigorating summer song, and it was produced by Canadian producers Andrew Watt and Kirkut, Cirkut. I don't know how to pronounce that. Both who co-wrote the song with John Bellion, Lotto, and Theron Mackil Thomas.
Wow.
Just go on genius.com, click their links if you want to know more about these people. Lyrically, Seven is a romantic serenade about wanting to spend every moment of every day with one's lover.
A romantic serenade.
Yes, the explicit version's lyrics express a more sexual desire.
I mean,
Wikipedia
you're not
is
wrong.
so PG. I love it.
They're not wrong, though.
They're not wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a euphemism.
Yes.
The first one is a misreading for what it's worth. The second one is too calm of a description.
Yes, it's a PG description. The music video was also released on the same day, and it features famous Korean actress Han So-hee. Han So-hee is most known for her most recent drama, Nevertheless. And yes. In 2020, she was in The World of the Married, and
she also played the adulterer in the adultress in that one.
Oh, really?
There are feelings there, Nathan.
Oh, what about? So I've never watched this drama, but she was in 2018's 100 Days My Prince as a main character. Do you remember her in that drama?
I don't remember too much about her, but I mean, based off of that, like, she couldn't have been that scandalous on that one. Could she? I don't know. Listeners, let us know.
I don't know. I didn't watch the drama, but yeah, I think she's a little typecasted as a Scandi actress.
Yeah, I think she is too.
But I think the way they portray... Oh, I'll tell it later. Go ahead.
Anyway, so she is... she's in the music video as Jungkook's girlfriend. And we'll talk more about the music video later, but I just wanted to point out that this like high profile actress is in his release. He did his debut stage at Good Morning America's summer concert series. So on the day of its release, he performed, excuse me, 7 along with Euphoria and Dynamite. And the concert series was in Central Park, New York. And it was like a pretty big audience. Like when
a lot of people camped out for it.
When they announced he was going to debut at Good Morning America, I just thought it was like, little rinky dinky stage. Like, I didn't think it was this huge venue. So it was actually pretty nice. The stages were good. And then lastly, with the release, he comes out with a CD single and a digital EP. So the CD single has the song, the clean version, the explicit version, and then an instrumental. And then the digital EP, which is the weekday version, has the clean, the explicit, the instrumental, a summer mix, and a band version.
A what version?
Band, like live band version.
I like that.
Yeah. And that's it. Oh, one last thing I wanted to say is the reception of this song. So it debuted atop the daily global Spotify chart with almost 60 million streams, the most opening day streams for a male artist and collaboration, and the biggest debut of 2023. Oh, I forgot to say that this song has Lotto as the collaborator.
You said that she was also in the production writing.
She was a writer. I'm sure she just wrote her own verse, but anyway. And then another note about performance is he became the first K-pop act to reach #1 on the US Spotify chart and the first Korean solo artist to debut atop the global chart. So it was a highly anticipated debut, and he received a lot of commercial success.
And for what it's worth, I saw that it did really well on Melon also. So people had high wanted to test this out a little bit in Korea too.
Yeah,
it reached #1 on Melon. So
I didn't even look up Korean charts because with any BTS song, I just assume nowadays that it goes to #1 and kind of stays in that top 20.
Yeah.
For some time. So
and it definitely did.
Yeah.
I wonder how many views he got on YouTube. I'm trying to look it up right now. How many views he got on YouTube for 7 in the first hour? Because within the first 23 minutes, it was already at 1.8 million. It looks like within 24 hours, he got 39 million views, which is insane.
My king.
Yeah, I don't even know if J-Hope got that for his release or if they did the, for Suga's release as well. That's a lot of views. 39.
Yeah.
I would suspect that Jung Kook gets the most views.
Yeah, I would think
that's our man's.
that Jung Kook is the most famous member.
Yeah.
Maybe that's I don't know if
most
that's...
wide appeal, maybe, so to speak.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe that got higher views, but I don't know if that counts.
I don't know if it really did. It was Psy's song featuring Suga.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. But damn, 39 million views is a lot.
That's a lot. That's a powerhouse.
And I just want to say that the explicit version is definitely different. It gives a different meaning than the clean version.
Yeah, and it expresses sexual desire.
I understand, but when I heard it, I only knew the clean version and I didn't even know the explicit version existed. I started posting the content just like, has everyone heard 7? Oh my God, it's so good. And then people were commenting like, girl, have you heard the explicit version? And it just ruined my entire life.
Yeah, I'm glad that the music video had the clean version and not the explicit version. Because that would have brought different meaning to the storyline.
Do you think it started out I mean, this is just speculation. Do you think it started out as the explicit version and then went to a clean version, or did
Of
it start as a?
course.
Of course, it started explicit.
It
Of
started explicit.
course.
Okay,
Yes.
that's how it works, I guess. Okay, you're
And then
right.
you got to make a PC version for the wider audience for it to say loving
Yeah.
versus fucking.
I feel like it's easier to clean something up once it's already like the meaning, even in the clean version, the meaning behind the words is dirty, is explicit.
Yeah.
And it's just words that are switched out between the two versions.
Euphemisms. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. What I wanted to mention was when we were talking about the actress, I thought that, like, I already told Nathan, I can't believe it's this actress because she's known to be in like typecasted, like you said, just in, like in Scandi roles. And then I was like, she can't be in this one. It's gonna ruin my whole life. A shirt is gonna come off, is all I said. Whose shirt? I don't know. But I think they did it right because I think if she was like typecasted and how she really is in the dramas in this music video, Army would have came for her, including me.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
Army would have came for her and just been like, you don't deserve JK, like you can't have him, he's not yours. But the fact that she didn't really like want him and he was like chasing after her, and I was like, oh, Army could come for her for that. Like, you ungrateful, you're so ungrateful.
Oh,
But then
yeah.
but then the hand holding
Oh my
but then
gosh,
the
I
hand holding
forgot.
the hand holding at the end, they did it right. They appealed to the
Yeah.
right audience.
I agree. I really enjoyed the toxic type of storyline that was going on because he's chasing her the entire time and she like is in every single scene. She's like rolling her eyes, she's mad at him, they're yelling, and she clearly does not like him. And he is like trying so hard to get with her. And in the end, like she decides to just like give in and go back with him, which shows that they're in some sort of like toxic relationship. They're a friends. They're not friends with benefits. They're
They're the on
They're
and off.
probably like, they're the on and off. Yeah.
That's who they are.
Yeah, they're the on and off couple. They probably only stayed together because
They've been together for like 5 years.
right. Or like
This is like JK's first girlfriend, and he's trying
really
to stay with.
Good.
Oh, true.
Look at him. Like, just look at him. Of course.
Of course, she said.
I can't. He did it on purpose. He did it all on purpose. And the whole speculation was that when Seven was the title was released, everyone's like, oh my God, it's about the members. Oh my God, it's
Including
about all
me.
Yeah, it's about all 7 of them. Like, he's really gonna dedicate his first solo song. And he was like, psych, I'm gonna tell you that I'd be fucking every night of the week. And it was too much.
I know. We all thought it was gonna be wholesome, and we should have known. Like when they announced that Scandi girl, Han So Hee.
I know, when I saw her at the airport.
What airport?
The airport photos of them both arriving.
When they filmed the music video.
That one screwed me up. That one screwed me up.
Oh.
I didn't like seeing it. I have to like seeing it. But yeah, it was the airport photos. I really think that airport photos really give like a lot of background information into like what's going on and like the dates people are arriving. Like, now we all
because they
should have
traveled
known.
together for the same schedule.
We should have known from the start.
We should have.
But I think
there was also like not a lot of like information about what he was doing like the last year and a half. And like people knew that he was like quote unquote maturing as this person, tattoos, whatever.
They're just
but
waiting
that
for
didn't
him.
mean like, I mean, this still comes out of left field, quite frankly.
Yes.
Yeah, because he hasn't been like terribly public with his work. Like over the last year and a half, it's just like all of a sudden, you know what he's capable of, but then it just happens.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think they were just introducing him as like an English, like getting better with his English and doing like the Charlie Puth song, the left, right, whatever it's called.
Right.
Yeah, and like things like that. And he's like practicing on his lives, like speaking English, and him just getting like small exposure in between. But like Hybe knew, or I think they're still Big Hit. Big Hit knew that he was gonna be I think he's gonna be the last one. Like, I don't think there are going to be any other members doing anything, because like you can't beat a JK release. Like when Indigo came out for RM, like their Army wanted more. Like even when J-Hope releases stuff, like Army wanted more. Like, but now that JK's here, I don't think V's gonna do shit. Sorry, that's my man.
Like,
but
are you saying like how could you follow up such a huge release?
correct. Yeah.
Interesting.
Because
Do you know
he's,
if B
because
is
I
gonna
think
come
he,
out with anything?
I don't think so. I think he's really just like living his life with Jenny, to be honest. Like he, like I don't really know. Like you come out, Jungkook comes out with a bop that caters to both American and Korean audiences, and it seems like a big release. Like when
Yeah, it's a big release.
yeah, when J-Hope did it, it was mostly Korean. When Suga or Augusty and RM did it, it was mostly Korean. And then you get Jungkook here doing both. Like they got to cater to both audiences. That's a lot of lift on the marketing end for Hybe. So it's like Jimin.
And
Oh yeah.
Jimin.
Oh sorry, Jimin. Sorry, Jimin. Forgot about you, sweeties. Yours was also a Korean release. Yeah, and you also partnered with another Korean artist, Taeyang. So it's like, and freaking Jungkook got Lotto. Lotto's coming up right now. They picked correctly, especially for such a sexual song. Like she's not like the hot girl right now, but she is pretty much getting there.
Mm-hmm.
Is she? So would
Yeah.
you say that she's like Meg the Stallion type of?
Oh,
I don't
because
know anything about her. I just know her one song on Instagram or whatever clip.
Yeah,
plays.
I only know a couple of her songs. Like the one that we posted for Casey's like Bachelorette, it was Lottery by Lotto. She
Mhm.
just makes like those good like bangers, kind of like Ice Spice and things like that. Like it's kind of just
Oh,
one here, one there. But Meg The Stallion's like definitely higher, but I think Lotto is on more caliber for this song.
right.
Yeah, I think Meg The Stallion would have been like overpowering.
Yeah.
Because the reaction videos a lot of people were posting were like, so that when they were listening to the clean version and then the explicit version, everyone obviously was shook by him saying the F word. And they were like, we get it now. We get why you want Lotto. And I was like, is she like known to do like these like sexy songs? But maybe. But I think she was the right fit for it.
Yeah, her voice fits well with his voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Overall, I think the song is really good. You know, instant bop. It's streamable. It's fun to dance to.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that after.
Instant replay. The only thing that I don't like is the explicit version. I mean, when I first heard the explicit version, I was a little bit turned off because it's so explicit. Like the whole song is talking about sex. And although K-pop in like even Cream Soda EXO, like it's definitely alluding to sex, but it's not so blatantly like I'm gonna fuck you 7 days a week type of thing, you know? And I felt as though that like the like allure of K-pop was kind of gone for me. Like I kind of like that the sexuality in K-pop songs is a little bit more like muted, mysterious. Like you kind of have to interpret it and it's not so in your face, blatant.
Like it's there.
It's there, but it's not like it reminds me of that video where it's like watching an American drama in the first episode and the characters are having sex and you're just like it desensitizes you. Like American sexuality, like so in your face, desensitizes it to you. Whereas like in those same video memes, when Korean couples like hold hands, like touch hands in the 12th episode, you're like screaming, you know? So it just kind of like, It was a little bit off-putting that it was so blatant, and it felt a little bit cheap to me. To I don't know. I still think the song is good, and I do like the explicit version as well, but that was just my initial reaction to the explicit version.
That makes sense. I guess just a change, like a lot of people are talking on socials, like the change of one word from loving to effing is like a really big difference.
This is completely different.
Yeah,
that is not even a translation difference.
Yeah,
that is a
it's a full flip for him, and
flip.
It did shake the fans, and they were shook. But I think that they also made other subtle changes, and like from the clean to explicit version, that like it's the same exact word except that one, and just a couple other words that make it like a little too sexual now that I'm thinking about it. Like I said on my IG stories, like in the clean version, he says, "It's the way that we could ride." And then in the explicit version, he says, "It's the way that you could ride." And then you watch the performance video, and then they do that like take me down move. And I was like, oh, interesting. The change of we to you is also different.
Right, so, because we could mean like just
like let's
vibing
ride
together.
Like let's go to the mall. Like we ride. Right. It's the way that we could ride. Right. But then all of a sudden the action is just one person. Yeah, I see it. I think because I think I was ready for this moment that I'm cool with it. But I see where you're coming from, because yeah, I do miss like a little bit of innocence of K-pop with a little bit of like spice in there.
Right.
Like what is that song? Sugar what is that TXT song?
Sugar Rush Ride.
Yeah, Sugar Rush Ride.
Yeah.
Or like Melodic. Like that one is a very, it's what Ashley's talking about. She kind of likes the subtle references.
Yes.
Like you know it's a sexual song. Like obviously with the choreography, it's sexual, but they're not blatantly saying like, I want to fuck you in Melodic, you know?
Right.
It's kind of giving that growth for JK though. Like I remember when I was like in love with Nick Jonas, and he went from like Jonas Brothers, going solo singing Jealous, and then he did that collab with Sage the Gemini, and there was an explicit version, and in the explicit version he said that good shit be happening versus a good thing be happening, and you're like and then you don't know what to do about it. But it's like them just stating, I don't know who they are, kind of like with Miley Cyrus. I felt like when she
just kind of like this with a cannonball.
Yes.
What is it? What is
with
it
a wrecking ball?
Wrecking ball.
With a wrecking ball.
Yeah.
Cannonball.
Yeah, that's how like she came in like a wrecking ball. Yeah, for real.
That's
like
true.
It's this. I think this is his transition song, and then I don't think he's gonna do it again. Like I don't think he's gonna go explicit like that. Maybe just like a couple words here or there, but like you said, it was giving Ariana Grande. Like
Ariana Grande, I think she's a great artist. I think she's a very talented singer, but I don't think her music is like anything of value. I think that she is.
It's just bops.
It's fun.
Oh, that's a good point, because with this song, it's like with the JK song, it's kind of just like a bop, but it doesn't give me more meaning than like Euphoria.
Yeah, and that's fine. Right. Like sometimes that's what K-pop is. Like it's just
a fun
music.
Time.
It's just a fun time. But
I want to know. I want to know, does he know what he be singing about?
That's what I've been asking actually since Euphoria.
Because you're the one who said that.
I did not know the meaning of Euphoria like for many, many years of my life. And you suddenly come across this word when you're studying for the SAT or something, right? So I question whether or not he really knows. I'm sure he does. People have briefed him about it.
They're like, just know that when they were briefing him, they're like, just know when you're singing how deeper than the ocean is, we're talking about you know what.
You're talking about you know what.
He's 26, isn't he? He's 1997.
No, we're not doubting the fact that he knows and he's experienced whatever. But does he know that he's sharing this with the world?
Yes.
Yeah,
Because
this seems,
ultimately, fuck could mean two things. You could use it as a cuss word, like ouch,
yeah,
but
Yes.
it also has this other meaning in which he's using,
yeah.
Yeah.
right? And it was very jarring when people started using the F word in the ouch sense in K-pop or in
Right.
whatever. Like, oh my gosh, so and so cussed in the song. It's like this just takes it to a whole nother level,
Right.
right? The other use of the word or synonym, anyways. I have a thought follow up to Ashley, which is the average, and here is where, like, okay, K-pop, you release music to kind of appease your fans or to like not to yeah, to appease your fans. And clearly JK is probably not after that anymore or moving to a different army fan base. Because what is the average army age post Dynamite? Like,
That's a good question.
I don't know actually.
would this be appropriate for people to listen to that are lower than X age? Like, probably not. Like, Ashley,
No.
you're the parent in the room.
They get the clean version.
Yeah,
They
we
get
get
the clean version,
when I'm
but
in the car, we listen to the clean version.
I'm just saying. But I mean, like, there's a clean version that's available, but it's not like these people don't have access to the explicit version
Right.
at the end of the day. So I don't know. I feel like there might be some slippery slope here where, again, BTS are the leaders. So when BTS leads, people will follow. And it's not like we haven't seen this in K-pop before, but it's not necessarily mainstream. It's still
Right.
fringy. So I wonder if this will lead to a potential shift in frequency of hearing more explicit things that JK is not interested in performing this on Music Bank, where he like has to change up a whole bunch of things, right?
Right.
Like, because
Yeah,
as we know,
that's
the Korean censors are a lot higher. Like EXO couldn't even sing like Lotto during their promotions. They had to
right.
change the word Lotto to louder. Or eventually only one of couldn't perform their original choreography like on the show, right? Um, anyways, I
That's
like the
an
song.
interesting
I
point.
think objectively, like the song was very, very good. And I would put it on a playlist where I'm just in the car and I just am driving for an hour and it takes away 4 minutes of my drive very pleasurefully.
Yeah,
Period.
period. Yeah. I think that Jungkook now is going through like this I wouldn't say that it's weird, but it's more like a repositioning of
Mm-hmm.
his his him as an artist. I feel as though we're starting to see a shift away from K-pop Jungkook and just like regular pop Jungkook,
Mm-hmm.
where he's no longer like K-pop singer Jungkook from BTS from Korea. He's like Jungkook, who is a Korean based artist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't
And
know if
it's
it's rumored or not, or if I just saw it somewhere, but it is like I heard somewhere that his album is supposed to be all English.
Mm-hmm.
right.
It's confirmed. I don't
It's
know.
not confirmed, but we heard those same
Mm,
rumors.
I see.
Yeah. It's so interesting that he's really diving into English releases, all English releases. He's not doing any Korean promotions anymore. None of his songs are in Korean. And I don't know, it's just a little bit it's just interesting. I don't know how to describe it other than that.
On the one hand, someone would say that this is and natural progression, as we talked
Yeah.
offline before the recording started. And in another vein, people would see this as what we are no stranger to this conversation on this podcast. Some kind of wanting to be part of a new market that is the American or Western market.
Yeah.
Um,
Part of me feels like he's kind of following the money when he does English releases, because English is like a very global language. It reaches a lot more people. A lot more people can consume it, therefore buy it, you know? So it like,
I
is
think it's
it
a
a
good.
money grab? I don't know. Or
It
is
might
it
be.
just what he wants to do?
I know. I wish that he released more information about it, just about his thoughts. Maybe he will when like the new album comes out.
yeah, I would love
But
that to hear like his thought process behind
why he
his
chose?
movement. Yeah, his
Hmm.
movement and I mean clearly he does want to reposition. Like at this
Right.
point in his career, like the BTS members don't have to do anything.
But I
Right.
feel like they're using JK as like the segue to like the other groups now too. Like it was BTS, yes, like singing like some English songs, but I feel like JK is like the solidifying bridge so we can bring over more artists from
Mm-hmm.
Hybe probably, because like Super Shy right now is isn't it mostly English? Because I be singing it and I'm like, hold up.
Yeah, it is. It's like 90% English.
So it's like they're getting there. They're getting all their artists prepped to learn English and do that. And now that JK is going to bring the audience, they're going to be like, oh, where's JK from? And they're going to find out his company. They're going to find out these other groups, and that's just how they keep going.
Yeah. It's interesting that you bring up Hybe, because like Hybe, they're really trying to create this sort of like foundation to get artists from Korea over to Western markets, you know?
Mm-hmm.
If you imagine a like a east to west spectrum of like all of their groups, they have groups along that entire spectrum, you know? They have like KOZ Entertainment, which I would say is like super Korean. They have the
Mhm.
Seraphim, they have Promise Nine. Those are like very heavily focused on
Kong Daniel is a very Korean centered artist.
right. And
Oh, sorry, not Kong
not
Daniel's
Kong
not in that
Daniel.
one.
It's Zico.
Zico, thank you.
Yeah. Like they have their Korean focused people, and then they have people that are kind of like halfway Korea, like east to western audiences. They have TXT, and Hypen. They have 17. New Jeans, like Sammy said, has a 90% English song. And then they
Mm-hmm.
have BTS, which is like so Western. And
Yeah.
so I feel as though they're creating this like system to like naturally transition their artists to a bigger marketplace. And in
Yeah.
the future, that transition of like more Asian artists over to the West won't be so jarring. Because
Mm-hmm.
when you think about BTS and like when they started releasing English music, or just like coming over to the United States to perform, like that was all very groundbreaking, you know? Like they were reaching, they were doing stuff that people weren't doing before.
Yeah.
And so
At
now
least
it's
to the degree that they were.
right, to the degree that they were. And they're like, in a sense, paving the way for these other artists to kind of
Mm-hmm.
like follow. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. But
That is a good point.
I think it's
it's
just their strategy. This is
it's
their
just getting set
strategy.
up.
Yeah, their strategy to become a global artist. Like I feel like Ariana Grande is a global artist or Beyonce is a global artist, and like they I think this is just the way for K-pop to enter that global stream. Like they have to do it. I agree that it's a little bit of a money grab, but I think it's a good business move because you can't just stay within your market for so long, like for all this time. Like you're gonna make a limited amount of money and you can't really expand who you are and your business. And they're really relying on Hybe is really relying on BTS to build the rest of their group. They were the foundation, and now it's like,
Right.
okay, let's set you up. Yeah, because how does, I don't know if there's another, maybe like J Balvin or Bad Bunny, maybe they'd be like a global artist now and they speak another language. And so it's like same thing for K-pop. So I feel like having this English release, they he didn't just need it, like Hybe needed it.
Will we ever see like a Korean J Balvin?
What do you
Kore-
mean?
Like, because J Balvin is a global artist singing in all Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we'll ever see like a top of the charts Korean song? I mean, there have been some, like Boy with Love, or
Yeah, but they got Halsey on that.
right.
I don't know. Maybe it just doesn't work for Korean, like or like that language. So, because I feel like what are the most popular languages like in the world? Is it Spanish?
Yeah,
And
English,
is it
Spanish,
Mandarin or is it?
Mandarin.
Mandarin, yeah, I
Yeah, do we
would
need to
say.
call up Wavy real quick? We got to get them out here. But yeah, I don't know. I just think that I don't think there's gonna be a Korean J Balvin out there, but maybe Jungkook could be the bridge.
Interesting.
I have some thoughts.
Yes.
I'm trying to like organize them and figure out how I feel about all of the wonderful things that Ashley is bringing to the table.
Yeah.
I feel like, and I think I've talked about this before. I guess what kind of bridge are we saying like Jungkook is serving? Is he becoming a bridge for people to consume American like English K-pop, or is he being a bridge for K-pop what we know it to be? I don't know if that question makes sense.
Well, isn't it just the bridge just to bring awareness that K-pop is still like
But this is
there?
not like Jungkook's releases are not K. This is not a K-pop release.
But if you're into Jungkook, wouldn't you look at his new album, then see his background and all the other songs that he's singing?
I think
So
that's possible.
yeah, because I feel like that's the bridge that I would think it is. Because
So the
like it's
question
kind of
that
like, go
yeah,
ahead.
the conversation that we had in another episode was what like he's a bridge to his own work, of course, like you're a bridge to your own work,
Right.
right? But are you a bridge to what most of the industry is doing? And my argument would be no. That
Okay.
people that we sat with on Saturday night that like Jungkook's release will ultimately are not repulsed by K-pop, but do not deal with it because there's this like still a negative portrayal of what that is.
I think
Right, but they like this because well, it's
mhm.
not actually representative of what K-pop is.
Yeah.
It's not.
I think
Right.
that's if they pass like the surface level, because that's like, for example, like my journey with K-pop. It's like I didn't even want to listen to it at first. I was like, what are they saying? What's going on?
Sure.
And then my sister introduces me to the concert. I want to find out more. And then I was like, okay, I'm not listening to anybody else other than BTS. And then Johnny from NCT suddenly speaks English to me. He tells me what the hell's going on. And then I listen to NCT and I'm going to concerts with you and wanting to know more about that. I think he's just like the gateway then. Or yeah, it still could be the bridge, because it's like if I was listening to Jungkook today, I'd literally be like, oh my God, he speaks English. What other songs is he singing? And I'd be like, what the hell is Euphoria? And I'm like, oh my God, it's K-pop. And then I get into it more and then into it more. So I feel like that's how I started with NCT. Like I really was just following Johnny and Mark. and then suddenly I was like loving Utah, and like just
I think it could happen, and I think
Yeah.
it does happen 100%.
mm-hmm.
But I wonder if they're outlier cases or not.
Yeah.
But
Interesting.
not outlier cases. I wonder if it's less probable than what I would hope.
I would like to think, and I'm thinking optimistically, that it's a positive step forward for K-pop.
Me too.
Because as like a K-pop consumer, I love that these artists are coming to America in our hometown,
Very
speaking
easily accessible.
easily accessible, all these different things. And so it just like benefits me that these things are happening and these people are more accessible. And but I also like really like K-pop, you know. So I don't know. I mean, K-pop is like I don't know how to describe it except for K-pop, you know, like it.
Yeah,
Like,
I think the
no,
listeners
it's
will also
K-pop.
understand.
No, they'll get it because
No.
it's a whole nother world. Like when I explain this to
is.
people,
It's very
like
it's very hard.
It's definitely different than when you listen to like a Western artist. But I just think that I think they'll get it. K-pop.
Yeah, and it's hard to be a K-pop, like a true K-pop fan with non K-pop liking people, because even with like my husband, he always brings up those conversations about like the negatives of K-pop,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And it's like we're past that now. I mean, it still happens obviously, but like let's just talk, let's enjoy the music. But I don't know if the conversations around K-pop can ever go past those like stigmas that people, it's not stigmas, it's more like just the topics of like the training and all of these different things. Like people
Wacko
can't get past,
fans.
people can't get past that. So I don't know if people like majority of consumers can ever listen to K-pop.
Yes.
I agree.
Oh, okay. So with that said, can we give a shout out to the choreographer of this song?
Oh,
Who is it?
Brian Puspos.
Yes,
Oh,
please.
You didn't
Please
know
go
it was
ahead, Sammy.
We just want to say that Brian Puspos is now our favorite choreographer. I'm just kidding. He just choreographed Serendipity for Jimin, and that was my first exposure to Brian Puspos. Like I was a big fan of him before when he was on ABDC, and then he was then the choreo, like I think the whole story was like he submitted a choreography video for Serendipity. They saw that he used it, and then now he's just been one of their choreographers. And so he also did another whose other music video choreography did he do? Because they used him and they used Sierra.
Jackson Wang? I don't
Oh,
know
I
who you're
thought-
talking about.
Oh, I thought Brian Pusos choreographed somebody else's from BTS, like their.
Oh, they did a cover of a Brian Puspos. I think it was like Take You Down. Brian Puspos did choreography to Take You Down, and Jimin and Jung Kook performed it at one of their festas.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
Oh, yes, they did.
Yeah.
But now he choreographs for them, and he's now, he's getting FaceTime.
Yeah, I told
So-
Sammy that I was so happy that this guy was getting
Mhm.
like FaceTime in the performance video, which I thought was really cool. I mean, there were only 4 or 5 people behind him, behind Jungkook, which is like, well,
yeah, and he was
Jungkook probably
always
handpicked these people,
he was probably
So-
center left or center right every single time.
which is great. Which is
Yeah.
great. So
And he's creating a viral sensation already on TikTok and IG Reels. Like people are doing, it's called the
Really?
7 days a week challenge. and you dance to his choreography for the chorus for 7 days a week.
Oh, love
Yeah,
that for unpacking.
yeah, but everyone's like learning it pretty quick. Like the moment Good Morning America went up, there were already choreographed videos, tutorials up. When you work with BTS, like I feel like you've gotta get good choreo that's catchy. And Brian Puspos has that. Yeah.
Okay, any final comments about Seven, Jungkook, or all the above?
Stream 7 for the next 7 days, or you'll have bad luck. I don't make the rules. I think you have to do it.
Period.
I think, but I will say that coming from like my experience in K-pop, I think this is going to be a positive bridge for the K-pop community or like the K-pop industry to get into the Western world. And I think people will still like, I think you have to be like a hella stan to really understand the K-pop world, and you have to be ready to accept that commitment, because I didn't know what I signed up for when I first started. But it's like, if you're really committed, you will get to learn everything and you will accept the background that they came from. Like if I was a J Balvin stan, then I would probably figure out more about like, is it Spanish or like Latin music, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm very surface level with him. And that's just bringing more money to J Balvin. But like same thing with Jungkook. I think that some people may be very surface level with him, but if they want to dive deeper, they will, and it'll bring more exposure to K-pop, original K-pop.
True K-pop.
Yeah, because for like even our friend Peggy, she didn't really know that much, and now she's like knowing more because now she's in it. And she first started with Boy With Love. It all starts that way. It's just a gateway. It's a gateway drug. It's a gateway song.
I hope that gate opens wide.
Agreed.
Yes.
Agreed.
I agree.
But I think
there are a lot of artists that deserve need and deserve attention.
Agreed. And I think it's our responsibility as like the K-pop community to bring light to those people, because like Nathan always says, Eric Nam was the one who started all of this to like speak in his native language. I will back him up with that. But it's like he doesn't get the exposure that BTS does, whether it be like a industry or like, I don't even know who is he repped by.
His brother. I don't know.
Brother.
You know, he doesn't have the resources.
It's literally Ian management.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the resources like BTS does, but it was probably just like the jump of everything for English speakers in the K-pop world.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I think it's our duty to like bring exposure to it, because I could talk about BTS all day, but I could also use my community to talk about the reason why they are the way they are right now is because of the other artists who put their platform or like put themselves out there on that platform for these newer artists to do it. Like New Jeans couldn't be singing freaking English songs for their second or third release if BTS didn't do it first. And then if BTS couldn't have done it because of who? Other people.
Many others.
Many others.
We're gonna end on that because Sammy, you are preaching.
Yes,
I am. Well, look at all the different levels.
Nathan, of our podcast.
I know. Like, look at all of us. Nathan started at like, I feel like you're the one who's the most experienced in K-pop. Then it goes to my sister, and then it goes to me. We all started in different generations of K-pop, but you guys have educated me from my sister's point into your point. Like, and I will educate people like Peggy. Peggy will come to my point. I'll tell her from your point, my sister's point of view, and then yours. It is
and it's all just fun. We're just trying to have fun here.
It is our duty, though.
We're on a mission.
It's our duty. Okay, everyone.
Suddenly I'm on a mission.
Okay. This is always really fun to talk to you. Talk to the sisters.
Yeah.
Thank you to our listeners for tuning in to this episode. We are on Instagram at Idol Talk Pod. Please rate, review, and subscribe to us on all of our major podcast directories and streaming platforms. We also have our email, idoltalkpod@gmail.com. Feel free to send us feedback or any content requests there. And we also have, lastly, our content directory, idoltalkpod.uwu.ai. You'll see previous episodes categorized, including playlists, song recommendations, concert and K-drama reviews, and information about us. And it could be seen in the description of our episodes here. With that, we will be back with another episode next week. But until then, stream 7, as Sammy says. Good night and goodbye.
I'm Vivian Yoon. Listen to K-pop Dreaming from Elias Studios. I grew up in Koreatown in the 90s, and my friends and I could not get enough of K-pop.
Do you remember SES?
Yeah.
Yes.
So true.
So how did the music that only Korean and Korean Americans listen to become a global cultural force? And what role did LA and Koreatown play in K-pop's rise? K-pop Dreaming. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.